It was supposed to be just another light-hearted night on late-night television with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson taking center stage as the featured guest. The crowd erupted into cheers as he entered, flashing his signature grin, shaking hands, and radiating confidence. His charisma filled the room instantly, and his usual charm seemed perfectly in place, as Jimmy Kimmel welcomed him warmly for what everyone assumed would be a funny, relaxed interview. The two exchanged greetings and dove into conversations about Johnson's new movie, his intense training, and a few humorous anecdotes from set. The energy was upbeat until a subtle shift changed everything. Kimmel steered the interview toward Johnson's past in wrestling and action films, teasing about the actor's shift into more family-friendly roles and how some fans questioned whether the former WWE icon was going soft. It was meant to be a joke, but Johnson's smile tightened. Kimmel pushed further, asking if Johnson missed being a real tough guy before Hollywood turned him into a walking brand. The audience laughed, but the tone in Johnson's face went rigid. He replied calmly at first, saying, "There was nothing soft about taking care of your family and building something lasting," but his eyes said more. Trying to milk the moment for laughs, Kimmel made another joke referencing Johnson's recent comments about masculinity and how men were under pressure to behave softer in public settings. This seemed to hit a nerve. Johnson's tone dropped, and he leaned in, saying that the host clearly didn't understand what he was talking about. He explained firmly that being strong was not just about action scenes or shouting matches. It was about discipline, integrity, and standing up for your beliefs, even when it wasn't popular. The crowd murmured, caught between loyalty to the host and stunned respect for the guest. Kimmel laughed nervously, trying to smooth it over, but then mentioned an old video that had surfaced online, one showing a younger Johnson using language that some considered problematic. Though the actor had already addressed it publicly years ago, he asked if Johnson ever felt like he was always playing defense. Now Johnson looked stunned, his fists clenched slightly as he responded that the past was the past, and that he'd already taken full ownership and grown from it. "What are you trying to do here, man?" he said. The room fell into silence, and Colbert's smirk faded as tension filled the air. The next few moments unraveled. Fast Johnson stood up mid-sentence, taking off his mic and saying that he wasn't here to be baited or disrespected. Kimmel tried to talk him down, saying it was just part of the show, but Johnson snapped back, saying that maybe that was the problem. The show relied on gotcha moments disguised as comedy instead of real conversations. He told the audience he had better things to do than entertain cheap shots and hollow jokes, and with that, he turned and walked off stage, his massive frame moving with quiet fury, while stunned silence followed. Backstage chaos broke out. Producers scrambled to fill the rest of the segment while crew members watched wide-eyed, unsure whether to chase after him or let him cool down. Sources later revealed that Johnson left the building immediately, refusing to speak with the show's team or give any statement. His team declined to comment as well, while Kimmel returned after a long commercial break, visibly shaken and stumbling through the next segment. I cracked an awkward joke about The Rock being unmovable, even when he storms off, but the audience barely laughed, sensing that the night had gone somewhere unexpected and raw. Within minutes, the footage spread online. Clips of the walkout lit up social media with hashtags like #TheRockAndFiltered and Dwayne Walks trending worldwide. Fans flooded platforms with reactions, some praising him for standing up for himself, others calling the moment unprofessional. Debates broke out over whether Kimmel had crossed the line or if Johnson had simply had enough. The rawness of the exchange left no room for neutrality. It was a clash between public personas and private convictions, and for once the cameras captured not a performance, but an unscripted moment of real frustration and fury. Media outlets ran wild with headlines speculating on the future of Johnson's public image and whether the incident would affect his carefully curated brand, while some commentators criticized him for overreacting. Many more defended his response, arguing that even the most composed stars deserve to draw boundaries, especially in an industry that thrives on pushing them for ratings. Interviews and publicists reevaluated their talk show strategies overnight. realizing that the line between humorous and humiliating had become dangerously thin, especially when dealing with guests whose reputations are constantly under scrutiny and pressure to maintain control. Colleagues from across Hollywood responded, subtly liking tweets supporting Johnson or sharing quotes about dignity and self-respect. His peers in both film and sport stood by him, highlighting that strength often means knowing when to walk away, not when to punch back. Johnson himself stayed silent for nearly 48 hours before posting a single image of a quote about silence being power. He offered no apology, no explanation, just a reminder that his voice was his own, and he would not let it be manipulated or reduced for cheap entertainment or late-night laughs at his expense. The moment became a cultural flashpoint, not because it was loud or violent, but because it was real and unexpected. Dwayne Johnson walking off that stage was not about losing control, but about reclaiming it in a space that too often demands submission wrapped in smiles. It was a rupture in the late-night formula, a reminder that even the most seemingly invincible figures have limits and deserve respect. The lights of the studio eventually dimmed, and the show moved on, but something deeper lingered, a new awareness that not every guest will play along, and not every moment can be managed.